Hi guys, I'm back. It's the end of week 3, I think. And I'm actually doing okay as far as weight loss. I'm not really satisfied with my eating. This week, actually Friday, I just went on a binge. I was eating all day and I wasn't really hungry all day. Let's see, my calories went up to 2,700, I believe. 2707 to be exact. Yeah, my channel's called No Excuses, so I have no excuses. But a patient brought in some cookies, and even though they were unlabeled, and as I said in my last video, I'm allergic to nuts. I usually don't eat anything that's unlabeled. I tried one, and then I went to another one, and then another one, and we keep Hershey Kisses up front, and we tend to eat it. The staff, we tend to eat them like they're shots of rum or something like that. So if someone stresses us out, oh, I need a piece of chocolate. So yeah, I got into that this week also. Although I believe 3 Hershey Kisses are equal to 100 calories or close to it. So yeah, so I'm basically going to go into cravings, not necessarily binge eating, because you can crave things and you can binge eat, and they don't necessarily go hand in hand. So I'm going to talk about cravings because that's my big thing. That's my downfall. Once I have a little bit of something, I have to have more and more and more and more, and that's where the binge eating comes into play. So once I conquer the cravings, then binge eating is out the window. So there are a lot of different takes on how to conquer your cravings, and I wrote down a couple that I came into before. The first one, ignore it, or just avoid the craving altogether. That doesn't work. That's a temporary solution. As long as the stimulus, the temptation is there, like those cookies right in front of me or right in front of my things in the back office, you're going to want it. Eventually you're going to break down and you're going to want it unless someone takes it before you. In that case, you might go to the store, go get your fruits, and just wander somehow down the cookie aisle and get some cookies. So avoidance does not work. Your brain is asking for something. Not necessarily those cookies, but something in those cookies. It could be emotional, because cookies or sweets, salty foods, certain foods become comfort foods. And emotionally, you might need something. So you got to figure out why you're craving these things and feed your brain what it wants. So yeah, on to the next. The next one is distraction. Another temporary fix, but the theory behind distraction is if you can do something between 10 and 20 minutes, that gives your brain enough time to, I don't want to say forget about it, but usually you want something because it's there. Like I wanted those cookies, again going back to the cookies. I wanted them because they were there, but I wasn't necessarily hungry. I wasn't in need of anything. I was completely fine otherwise. Someone said cookies and my ears perked up, and I'm like, oh, I want cookies. As much as I knew that I didn't need them and I really didn't want them. But distraction worked for a little bit. I was at work, I was very busy, and I was doing things, but once my shift was over, that's where the problem came into play. I said I was just going to try one. These are good. Let me go change for the gym. Distraction. I get changed. I'll just have one for the road. And let me take one with me. So distraction doesn't always work. So let's try something else. This one's pretty new. I read this in an article maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago where when you feel the urge to have something that you don't necessarily want, a craving, tense one of your muscles, primarily your fist. Hold it down at your side and squeeze really hard, and that tension will send certain neurotransmitters to your brain to turn off that craving. Who thinks to do this when they want something like cookies, cakes? I don't know what's salty. I don't usually have salty cravings, but that's not working for me. I'll tense up a muscle, and once I release, it does. I think it does. It is a temporary fix. It does work temporarily, but only while I'm tense. And I tend not to try to be tense, especially in the job that I am. I'm in physical therapy, and the therapists are constantly telling their patients to relax their muscles. So I try to, even in my posture and my gait, have a very relaxed body. And if I want something and then all of a sudden I tense up, people are going to look at me strange. Besides that, it's just awkward. So even it's just a fist, I have stuff to do with my hands. I can't, even if it's just my toes, it throws off your walking. And it's another temporary fix. So let's try something else. Alright, this next one, this is an awesome one. Drink water. This is perfect. This is one that I cannot bash, kind of. Drink water. Your brain doesn't know the difference most times between thirst and hunger. So have a glass of water, have a cup of water, whatever, and that craving just might subside. That goes back to finding out what your brain wants. Maybe it just needs some hydrogen and oxygen. There you go. Water is simple. And even if water doesn't subdue the craving, you've had a glass of water and you need water anyway. We have so much trouble, so many problems just getting our 8 glasses or however many glasses you need personally. If you just have water before your craving, there's one less glass you have to worry about. So this is a great one. Give it a try. I usually, if I'm having a craving, it works sometimes for me. My cravings tend to be very strong. I'll have water like a shot. Like I'll have a mug, like my tea mug, fill that up, and then chug a lug until it's gone. And by the end of it, I either no longer have the craving or have to pee. And there's no time to run back and get some candy or cookies or something like that. And I've had my water, so this one's really good. But if that doesn't work for you, let's try to get comfortable here. Okay, so after water, I have listed substitutions and preparations. Substitute something for those cookies. Let's say an apple or some oranges or some kind of fruit, something that's naturally sweet but not that cookie. And preparation is have it prepared. If you like your apples already sliced or cored and peeled, have it ready. Put it in a little baggie, put it in your refrigerator and or wherever you like, and have it prepared so when this craving hits, you bypass what you don't want and you have what you need already ready. This is also a good one, but like I said, my cravings are strong, and if I want a cookie, I'm going to have a cookie. The downfall of this is I may have the substitution first and then the cookie, and then there's double my calories or an addition of my calories because I have the substitution calories and the actual craving calories. It might lessen the amount of cookies that I might have, but and it also adds a fruit that I need, but you still have that amount of calories, and that's what it all boils down to. Calories in, calories out. You want to balance your equation. or tip the scales towards calories out. So let's try one more thing. Let's just have it. Eat it and get it over with. The theory behind this is that if you have it or have a little of it, you satisfy the craving and you don't need any more. You just have to have the willpower to have just one serving or just a taste of it. And that tends to work best for me. Although, like I said before, my cravings are strong. And I think if I had just had the cookies when I wanted them, I could have had one. But the fact that I went through this whole list and I tried avoiding it, I tried eating something else, I tried distracting myself, the longer I put off the craving, the more of the craving I needed. So if you have a craving for something, just have it. It's not the end of the world. I do these weekly updates because each Sunday is like New Year's for me. I can start all over. Like last week's calories were this week, 1907. The week prior was 1734. I average out my weeks and try to beat the previous week. Every week is like New Year's. You can start all over. You can start all over the minute after you have your craving. You can start all over the next day. It's not a big deal. It's not like drinking where you fall off the wagon. Yes, there are food addictions, but we also need food to survive. And if your body's asking for it, if your brain's asking for it, give it to it. If you can't figure out what it really needs, give it what it's asking you in the moment. And just start over. The next day, the next moment. Vow to be better. That's the past. And you can't do anything about it. So, that's my take on cravings. Next week, week 4, I will give you another body shot. I will probably show you how I measure all the circumferences that I list at the end of my videos. And until then, bye guys.